All right, Shalawam, Akim, I'm back. Hey, Salaki, I don't know what happened. It ended abruptly, and I know we were in the midst of Isaiah 9 and 6, going into the wars that, well, actually 9 and 5, going into the battles of the warriors with confused noise, all the past wars and battles from the ancient world to shields and horses, all right, arrows, all right, the clashing of armies in the field, to the battle cries, to men dying, all right, limbs being lost, all right, bodies piling up, all right, all the way down to World War One, where a lot of things were introduced, all right, and warfare was thrown, exponentially into this new modern warfare era, into the introduction of tanks, planes, mortar fire, machine guns, gas. Okay, it was still hand to hand, men, getting it in with each other, trench warfare, the elements themselves. All right, and then it just only escalated. World War II got to an even higher level, all right, of devastation. And that actual war ended with an atomic bomb being dropped, with two of them being dropped on Japanese or preferably Ammonite cities. All right, to end the war, to let the world know, hey, you're entering a new era, an atomic age. And now we come down to the age of fuel and fire, which is nuclear fire. Okay, so just gonna continue where we left off. I got another clip. This is Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be, this war, World War III, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. You see that? So there's going to be a burning and fuel of fire. All right, that's what we're seeing right now with the wars and rumors of wars. All right, Israel attacking Iran and their affiliates, their proxy militaries or armies. All right, and then Iran firing back at the state, all right, of Amalek dwelling in our land, that colony of those imposters in the land. And it goes to show that their defenses are not as on point as they thought they were. Okay. Call Yumla, YAHAWASHI, Brigadine. Let me get that. Because they had that Iron Dome or whatever the hell. Brigadine. All right, but they ain't gonna hold back nothing. They gonna make their habitations desolate with their allies, which is Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, and this world has already seen 2 world wars, and we'll see a 3rd one. And this is gonna be a true meat grinder because men were not meant to fight these type of wars. Okay, World War One was so dramatic and devastating. It was shell shock. That was something new. Like men didn't know what the hell that was. Okay, then World War II is even more amped up than that because you had bombing raids, you had night raids, you had the Blitzkrieg and all that. You didn't know when the hell a bomb was gonna hit your house or whatever, or the sirens sounding, in the midst of the night. All right, Stuka dive bombers and all that. You had Pearl Harbor. Okay, it was going to show you that things had escalated so much so that the Japanese were going to be cut off of the oil. That's why they invaded Manchuria at that time. And they only had about 19 months worth of oil because they were going to be sanctioned and cut off by the U.S. because those areas that they were attacking was the British, certain old British colonies and certain installations that America had established, certain pacts or whatever. And so they had to strike Pearl Harbor, so to speak. All right, and knock out the Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor, which they knocked out majority of the battleships. Some of them, was seafaring again, but the carriers weren't there. But it goes to show you how on a whole nother level that war was. Okay, millions of people died. Okay, and a lot of them died, on that very morning, not even getting out of their barracks or beds. All right, a lot of them was just sunken grave, and others died in their barracks. Okay, So it goes to show you World War III things is going ham right now, so to speak. Rockets is hitting certain places, then they're shooting rockets back at other places. Ground troops have been hitting the ground. They've been you know, getting the business, so to speak, and it's only going to escalate. So without further ado, this 2 Chronicles 15:6. And nation was destroyed of nation, and city of city, for Yahweh did vex them with all adversity. NLT, nation fought against nation, and city against city. But Yahweh was troubling them with every kind of problem. See that? That's what's going on now in our world with the strikes. And whether they keep it going or they end it, it goes to show you that it's eventually going to get to a point where every hand of the wicked shall be against him, the him being Esau, Edom, are his bankers, his power structure. And the wicked, you go into that word in the Hebrew, is Aimal, which is laborer, wretched one, sufferer. So all these laborers eventually ain't going to go to a strike, but they're going to go to striking actual people, not regarding their kings nor princes. It's going to get to a point of no return. All right, trade routes are going to be cut off because this war is going to increase. It's going to go beyond that region, and it's going to go global, worldwide. Okay, and then we already had the signs in the heavens. We already know what Luke 21 tells us. There's going to be signs in the heavens, vapor of smoke, perplexity upon the earth, and distress of nations. All right, that happened before World War I, happened again, World War II, and it devastated many lands and places that had to be rebuilt. All right. Now, this war is going to completely devastate America, and it's going to devastate the land of Israel. But the difference is that Israel will be rebuilt, and America will be a memorial of what not to do. As Sodom and Gomorrah was an ensample. It was an ensign and an example. And it will be that for all time to come. Now, this is Jeremiah 51:3. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, going into those that have nuclear capability. And against him that lifted himself up in his brigadine. Now, brigadine is like chainmail or armor, body armor, preferably like what they call it, like a breastplate. But it said that even if you lift yourself up thinking that you're going to have a defense against the weapons of the Lord's indignation, it's going to still come through, strike through, just as I believe it was it Ahab? He went out into the battle. He disguised himself, but peradventure a man shot an arrow and it still hit him, and it killed him in the chariot, just as the Lord prescribed against him. All right, so America is going to be destroyed, and Israel is going to be hit, just as the Lord power, YAHAWASHI, has prescribed against it. So even if you lift yourself up with your missile defense system or whatever the hell, Iron Dome, the missiles are still going to get through. Because the Lord have spoken. The Lord is the one that's bending the bow. All right, it says, and spare ye not her young men. Destroy ye utterly all her hosts. See, the Lord is going to destroy the armies of the world. Then he's going to shoot his arrows, and they're going to be shot from one end of the earth unto the other. But a lot is going on. Before he even gets to that point, the MOTB must be pushed. And it's going to lead to societal collapse, economic crash, to bring forth a new system. So without further ado, I'm going to play this clip. Shalawam. Going into the second woe. And we're in the midst of the third woe. And you have seen over the past few days what this war will be. And men were never meant to fight this type of war. They will be sent to the meat grinder. Okay, and that's what Ukraine is known as at this time, because men are getting cut down to nothing. All right, but there's more than enough military material, but not enough men to man it. All right, to the point where all the women and children and the old fled out of the country, and all the men that were there, there's really none of them left. So it just goes to show you a lot is going on. All right, so I'm gonna play this clip. Shalawam. That's a beautiful clip, man. Hey, man, that's it. Because it's going to get to that point over there with the Israelis and Iran and Hezbollah and Lebanon and all that. They're going to have to go in like that, boots on the ground, and it's going to be hand to hand. It's going to be fierce fighting, and then it's going to end nuclear. That's it. But for us that trust in YAHAWASHI, we have nothing to fear, as YAHAWASHI told us. These things must come to pass. You're going to hear wars, rumors of wars, but be ye not troubled, for the end is not yet. 2 Chronicles 15:7. Be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. See that? But as for you, be strong and courageous, for your work will be rewarded. Going into the elect, we just got to keep doing what we've been doing, and everything's going to be all right. So we don't see how long this goes for until it, cuts off. But I'm going to try to get what I can before that happens. I got another clip. Bear with me. All right, Kim, I'm back. Since I was quoting this, I'm going to bring it out. And hey, this was written a couple of times. All right, first in Matthew, then in Mark. All right, this is Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, which is reports, all right, or noise, because this is the noise and alarm of wars, the sounding of wars, noise. All right, it's reports of wars, skirmishes, battles. Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, talking to the elect. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. The end is when YAHAWASHI reveals himself and when the missiles fly. All right, when the archers bend their bow, those that have nuclear power shoot their arrows off to destroy America and our land, the state of Israel. All right, other places destined to be hit, which will make the earth rock to and fro like a drunkard. Mark 13:7. And when ye shall hear of war, see, and rumors, which is reports of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. Okay, that's it. Call Ayimla, Yahawah. 2 Chronicles 15:5. And it reads, and in those times there was no peace to him that went out, nor to him that came in. Because when war begins, this war really jumps off. When society collapses, when civil war breaks out, it's going to be dark times, perilous times. The Lord's going to bring that out in the next part, because I know I'm going to have to do another part. And in those times there was no peace to him that went out, nor to him that came in. But great vexations going into, like the storms. Another storm is heading on its way. Helene did what it did, and now you have Kirk on its way. Then you have the strikers, even if they came to an agreement or shall come to an agreement, it still crippled this place. 3 days worth of stoppage. They ain't gonna get things back into order for the next 3 to 4 weeks, maybe even a month's time. But everything, things were set in stone. The Lord put a nail into this coffin, so to speak. So this place is done regardless. People think shit is sweet and cool again. No, it's done. All right? And then you have the signs in the heavens. You already know what that means. You see the signs in the heaven, then there's going to be perplexity upon the earth and distress of nations. It says, during those dark times, it was not safe to travel. Problems troubled the people of every land. Now I'm going to play this clip and most likely close out. Shalawam.
Is it true? Men are still trapped alive inside the Arizona?
We can hear tapping from inside the home. We're doing everything we can to get to them, but they're 40 feet below water.
We've been trained to think that we're invincible. And now our proudest ships has been destroyed by an enemy we considered inferior.
Now, this was back in World War II, and they talking about this when men were much stronger back during that era. But it goes to show you right now, they can't even get men to join the military. They're going to have to bring back a draft. And he said, we've been taught to think that we're invincible going into America. And you're not invincible anymore. Your men are weak. The testosterone is low. You women are clowns. The rest of you people are idiots and don't know nothing. You're you're entertained, you're filled up with bread and circus, not knowing that your enemies that you thought were inferior, they on a whole nother level. Prepare war. Let the weak say I'm strong. That's what time we're in right now. And you have your enemies already within your borders. They're just waiting for you to do it yourself. A coup d'etat. Like at the end of Leave the World Behind. Okay, so I'm going to play this clip out. Shalom.
We're on the ropes, gentlemen. That's exactly why we have to strike back now.
We're preparing an attack against the Marshall and Gilbert Islands, sir, to keep
I'm talking about hitting the heart of Japan the way they have hit us.
That's it. See? So them rats striking Iran. Hey, the Russians want you to jump out there so they can strike you. All right, and as the scriptures say, they're gonna cover the land, our land of Israel, like a storm. All right, so it will be a ground assault, but from the side you wasn't expecting. All right, and America is gonna have to jump in, and you ain't gonna be able to strike back because you have become very weak. Yes, you have the military material, but you don't have the men to fight. Now you have damn momos and women in there, and they're not battle hardened. They're not warriors. I just showed you in the previous lesson, World War I. That was crazy as hell. Then you have World War II, just as crazy. Okay, it's no joke. Come on now, no joke. Shalom.
Mr. President, Pearl Harbor caught us unawares because we didn't face facts. This isn't a time for ignoring them again. The Army Air Corps has long-range bombers, but no place to launch them. Midway is too far, and Russia won't allow us to launch a raid from there. Admiral?
That's it, man. That's it. And right now, back then, America was somewhat allied with Russia and who else? Britain. But now Russia is an enemy, and they came out and said that they're an enemy against the United States because the sanctions are put on them. You have the BRICS nations, okay? So pretty much they're through, man. And you think they're having briefings like this in the Biden administration? Nah, these niggas are weak. They have 2 hurricanes that they got to worry about. One devastated certain states and the whole place. Certain cities are gone, non-existent. Roads are through. Then you had this strike that crippled the nation, even though they were down about 3 to 4 days. Billions was lost, okay? And in the world is seeing how weak America truly is and how blinded they are by their little pal, the Israelis, the Lees and shit, because they threw, all right? And they're going to be the least that draw you out, okay, into this greater war. Shalom.
These planes are small, they carry light loads and have a short range. We'd have to get them within a few hundred miles of Japan and therefore risk our carriers. And if we lose our carriers, we'll have no shield against invasion.
Does anyone in this room think that victory is possible without facing danger? We are at war. Of course there's a risk. But consider the risk, Mr. President. If the Japanese invade us right now, they would penetrate as far as Chicago before we could stop them.
Man, and that's when Ammon was much stronger back then, and they were afraid of the Japanese back then. How they can hit them like this, and then if they were to invade, they'll penetrate as far as Chicago, from the West Coast to Chicago. That's damn near the whole nation. Almost. About 75% of it, right? So now they have new enemies in this time. Russia, Iran. Syria is going to join the forces with Russia and Iran. They have the BRICS nations, and then they also have, did I mention China already? So China, Russia, Iran, and then those other BRICS nations, countries. And then even the allies of America are going to turn. So it just goes to show you how back then during World War II, they were fearing these certain Axis powers. But how much more now where there's more conglomerate of nations with an enemy, a known enemy of the United States that wants it to be destroyed. But they want you to destroy yourself from within first. And they already had the sleeper cells here, waiting, sitting, preparing, plotting. Let's play the rest of it.
Gentlemen, most of you did not know me when I had the use of my legs. I was strong and proud and arrogant. Now I wonder every hour of my life why God put me into this chair. But when I see defeat in the eyes of my countrymen, in your eyes right now, I start to think that maybe he brought me down for times like these when we all need to be reminded who we truly are, that we will not give up or give in.
Woo! Now, that America does not have that spirit anymore. So this place is truly through because they have given up. America has given up. They rather choose buffoonery over actual intelligence, all right, in bettering themselves. But the other nations are in that spirit to better themselves, to beef up their military, to make their men men, to make their women women again, to love their nation, to be national. This place is divided and is already destroyed. It has been taken, and Babylon was unaware, as the scriptures say.
Mr. President, with all respect, sir, what you're asking can't be done.
Mr. President! Get back, George. Get back. Do not tell me it can't be done.
Japan continues its military conquest throughout the Pacific. But back home, millions of American workers band together, bringing factories to life to avenge Pearl Harbor.
Now they sending all this aid to Ukraine and Israel, but what about beefing up America itself? Its citizens are suffering. So it just goes to show you that civil war is closer than you think. This place is done. All right, a lot is going on. Just had the sign in the heavens, ring of fire. All right, the new moon came in, new Sabbath. All right, the ending of the 7th month, completion, and the beginning of the 8th month, because you got October, right? Oct going into 8, going into glory. All right, our glory, the glory of YAHAWASHI. He's showing his hand in the earth, and it has been.
Mr. President, I think we have an idea about how to bomb the Japanese.
Sir, it's risky, but it's bold. Who are you?
Aye, sir. Captain Lowe, Mr. President. He's a submariner. He came up with this idea, sir.
I like sub-commanders. They don't have time for bull, and neither do I. Fire away, gentlemen.
Now it's the spirit, because the Russians have subs out there that cannot be detected. They say you'll have a better time finding a grapefruit floating in outer space than to detect one of their subs. All right, and they are on both coasts, the east and west, and best believe they're in the Gulf. And all they have to do is send some torpedoes and knock out these ports and ships, and this thing is over. And they already got their troops in this land. Said the Lord gonna fill the land with men as with caterpillars. That's another scripture. That's prophecy. And the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst of this place. There shall be no work for Egypt, for the head or tail, branch or rush may do. That goes to show you that these strikes, whether they get them back up and running, it doesn't freaking matter, because ain't gonna be no work real soon for a damn CEO person getting over 900,000 to the damn worker himself. Okay, no work for none of you real soon. So I'm gonna end it there. Okay, and I'm gonna come back with another one, and we're gonna continue. Just goes to show you there's a lot going on. Brothers have really hit all the points. Really, I can't even really do no justice. I'm just jumping you back into the past to see how turbulent it was then during those World War I, World War II, how the people were thinking, how they were fearful of the enemy, how their strength was, but how much more now. And we're in a nuclear age. So for you Israelites out there, hey, you better reconnect with your power and his anointed, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM, or be left here and melted. Okay, the elect is going to get themselves right. The rest of you, you're in for a rude awakening, because you're going to be an enemy in the sight of the Lord. And he will strike you down. All right? He will beat many people to powder at his presence. Okay, and then they just seen an armada of ships heading towards Earth. So the Lord is on his way. So without further ado, hey, I'm going to let you go, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors unto my apostles and elders at Great Millstone that are ruling well. Salutations, peace, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, that house of David. And to your brothers out there, keep fighting. To your sisters out there, doing that which is becoming of women, Shalawam. And to those that are addicted unto this ministry, I say Shalawam. Catch you on the next one. Expect a part 2. This will be part 1. Expect part 2. Shalom. 2. A lot is going on. Shalom.